So we're out here tonight with another special guest. You guys would remember my boy Peaches from the Gauteng video. We were in finding little tortoises.
Sleepy boys only.
But now he just finds us a little Cape dwarf chameleon that's just sleeping up. Let me actually come from this side. Yeah, you're blinded. Well, this one's super nice. It's got them nice pinky colors.
It's scratched up.
Yeah, probably been eaten by a horse. We are in Noordhoek. But yeah, nice little Cape dwarf chameleon. This is an adult, what is it? Adult male. Nice one. You're not gonna bother this guy, we're just gonna carry on. So have a look at this tiny sort of neonate Cape dwarf chameleon I just picked up. I actually thought it was dead, so I picked it up. Turns out it was not dead. It was just, I thought it was impaled in some of these spiky little bushes. But we're just gonna let him go and he's gonna go back to sleep. Be gone with you, brother. Go back to sleep. Chameleons shouldn't be awake at this hour. It's a school night, bro. So you can see this is what these chameleons actually look like from a distance. Nice little sub-adult, not a very big one, but a nice looking Cape dwarf chameleon all the same. Yeah, his eyes are open. Sleepy boys only, as they like to say. So you get a good look at that eye. But yeah, we're not going to bug this guy. I'm just going to grab a quick I-Night voucher and get out of here. A different spot now. You can see this one is way low in the grass. This is actually, I don't know, it's got a bit of color to it, but not nice and green like the others we've just been seeing. You can see it's actually almost totally gray. It's just got a few bits of yellow. So some of these chameleons just lie in such silly little spots. I mean, have a look at this guy. He's got this whole bush, but he's like half on a leaf. His tail is sort of just wrapping around the base there. Yeah, then again, a very nice, pretty looking animal. And there you go, it's Cape Town's finest, the clicking stream frog, Strongylopus greyi. The quintessential Cape Town amphibian in all its beauty. These guys are super common. Oh, and there he goes. Go live your life in the dry grass, my friend. This is super stark contrast to that big female we just saw, but have a look at the colors on this little male. You can see the male's got that thick base of the tail where the hemipenes are. You know, beautiful looking animal. He's just sitting here on this exotic pine tree. Beautiful. It's an oak tree, it's not a pine tree. Sorry bro, we leave you alone now. So Peaches just spotted these. Come with me, let's count chameleons. Baby chameleon number 1. It's a bit windy, but baby chameleon number 2. Sorry bro, I just woke you up. Baby chameleon number 3. Also these little ones love the thinner grasses.
Baby chameleon number 4.
Yo, this one's tiny. Check it there next to Peach's big muscle fingers. That thing is tiny. There's probably like another 5,000 in these terrestrial beds, but 4 is good enough. So only in the wealthy suburbs do people do weird stuff like this. They put all these doors on these holes in the trees. They put like all these ornate, creepy looking things in the trees.
For the members.
For the members, otherwise known as the Fairy Society. It's basically, yeah, it's strange, but I mean, you know, people in the suburbs do what they must. I'm doing a bit of nighttime flipping. There's a little shed, it's actually quite soft still. No head. This is probably, actually looks a, not sure actually. Let's see if I have a better look at it. It's probably just a sluggy doll. That looks
Maybe
actually,
an olive?
Yeah, probably an olive. Looks
Wouldn't be surprised.
too big to be a sluggy actually. There's the head, I think. No. Anyway, wasn't expecting much, but nice to see a bit of snake action. So we came here for these. Cape dwarf chameleon, like pretty chilled. Just in this nice friendly little park in the neighborhood. Sorry bro, you can go back to your bush now. So we came for the chameleons, but we definitely are gonna stay for the burnt, severed limbs of a baby. Missing a head, there's just 2 legs and a torso nailed to this tree. Welcome to the suburbs of Cape Town.
Dark energies.
This is why you wanted to come here, isn't it? This is why.
It's time.
It's Peaches time.
Rather average.
We just flipped this rather average looking log and there's some little millipedes. There was a centipede, but we don't like those. And it's the world's tiniest slug eater. I'll put my reputation on the line. This is the world's tiniest slug eater. No, I'm just kidding. But this thing is super tiny. Have a look at that little despicable ball of stench. Yeah, this thing can only be a couple of days or weeks old. Pretty cool, but yeah, these things smell disgusting. So I'm gonna put it down before it changes its mind about being calm. Be gone with you, brother, into the grass.
I want to check this.
So having at this, I was just having a look at this ridiculous installation that someone set up in this tree. They've literally put a door going into this tree, and there's like a clothesline of like things. So I'm busy looking at it from this angle, and I just happened to pan up, and what in the world do we have a hatchling brown water snake just cruising up the bark of this oak tree? This is bizarre. These snakes are mainly terrestrial and hunt little frogs down in the seepages and ponds. What are you doing up on the tree, brother? Having said that, he's probably looking for hatchling afrogeckos, but that is just too cool. And that little millipede just crawling all over him. Yuck. Not gonna bother this guy, just grab a quick cell phone pic and we're gonna carry on. Maybe he came out of the door, maybe he lives in this tree, who knows. Because we just arrived at our spot this morning. Going to get stuck into some of these sand dunes. Look for some breviceps, some geckos, and a bunch of other stuff. You can see we're right on the coast here. It's nice and misty, and it looks like they've had quite a bit of rain last night. So hopefully we're going to get into some good stuff. So we're still just walking around looking for things to flip and rocks. Just seeing what is out here. I've got my little Scalotes tool, just scuffling around little rocks, under the rocks, looking for soil lizards and snakes. But yeah, we're just gonna keep at it. I don't know where Oliver is. I think he's at a little pond or something down there. But yeah, just gonna, here's a nice rock and give it a flip. So my camera died, my space died. So let's see what we got. Well, there you go. We have some Dilla Andy's beak blind snakes and a whole clutch of babies. That's absurd. So it looks like we've got, oh, okay, this makes sense. You can see here are the, what look like the old eggshells. There's another one sitting here. We've got 2 adults and a clutch of babies. This is really unusual. Really cool to see though. I think there's something moving through here as well. But yeah, Dylandy's beak blind snakes, we've probably got 5 or 6 of them here. Super cool. Just gonna grab a quick record shot, maybe grab a few camera pics real quick. So have a go at this. There are actually a lot more of those blind snakes under that rock than I thought. There were actually 8 in total, so I've just grabbed them all quickly. We're just obviously gonna slide the rock back and then just put them back under the rock just so we don't squish them. But yeah, that's super interesting. It's quite unusual seeing a clutch of snakes like that, especially all sitting with one another, particularly obviously the offspring. But cool, Dylandy's beak blind snake, first herp of the day. So we just got our second herp of the day. This is a little Scalotes Grenovi. Grenovi is dwarf burrowing skink. You can see it's got these 2 tiny little legs at the back there, each of them only having a single toe. That's how we know it is Scalotes Grenovi, whereas Scalotes bipes have 2 little toes on either foot. Yeah, this guy's ridiculously small. This would be a newborn. But yeah, nice to see another reptile species get on the board for today. I'm just gonna chuck this guy back in the sand and we're gonna head on. Later, brother. There he goes. So I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me because right by the sea here, but we just flipped a little hochia. This is hochia incognita. One of the pygmy geckos. I don't know what the common name is, it's recently changed. But this is an average size adult. I mean, these geckos are extremely small. He was just under this large rock over here, so grab a couple pics real quick and set him on his way. So I was just sweeping through this mole heap. We got a nice adult Chameleons bipes. This is the silvery dwarf burrowing skink, a different species to the one we saw a little bit earlier. You see this guy's got a nice long tail, only a very sort of tip of it has become regenerated. They got that dark sort of band running through the eye there. Really nice skinks. Always a pleasure to find these guys throughout the mole heaps. We're still on the lookout for some rain frogs, but we haven't come right yet, but he's a nice bycatch to get along the way. Check out this giant gecko egg I just found. There's obviously some really large lizards around here. Obviously I'm just kidding, this is just an ostrich egg. They do occur naturally in this sort of Strandveld habitat, so hopefully we don't bump into any, because ostriches are pretty scary for a bird. So my ostrich egg came in handy. Check this out. Come on, brother. I just found this Acontius miliagris, the Cape legless skink, just in this little pile of sand. And just before I could get my camera out of my pocket, I popped it in the eggshell just to contain it briefly. And there you go, Acontius miliagris, Cape legless skink. These guys are really common, but nice to see them in the sandy habitat. So here's just a close-up look of that Cape legless skink. He's just sitting really nice, just photographing. But I see he has closed his eye, which is annoying. Obviously, unlike snakes, these guys have movable eyelids. Okay, there you go, he's on the move. You can see him digging. And that is just how these lizards sort of do their thing. They shuffle through the sand. I'm pretty happy with the photos I've got so far, so we're just going to let him go. So I just got our last Chameleons over there, and it's quite interesting. Not even 10 meters away, I just got another one. But this is, yeah, Chameleons bipes or bipus. You can see they've got the two toes on the rear limbs there. These guys really are sort of wriggly. But yeah, always a pleasure to find these guys. You can see there's also the tip of his tail is slightly regenerated, which is quite common amongst most of these skinks. They drop them at sort of any sight of sort of danger. But yeah, I'm gonna scratch around, see if I can't turn up any more in this little heap right next to it. So I just came down to the sort of edge here, and I just flipped this little cordelid just hanging out under the little rock, little girdled lizard. Just a little guy, but yeah, he was just under one of these small little rocks amongst the debris. I expected him to be here, and they were. And just to bore you again, we have another Chameleons, another dwarf burrowing skink. What species is this one? Let me have a quick squiz. This one has two toes, so this is Chameleons bipes. It's amazing you can see different species within the same microhabitats. Yeah, just gonna let this guy go back into the sand. So have a look at that, we got something different. This is Typhlosaurus caecus. It is the southern blind legless skink. These guys are super cool, like really spindly, much more slender than the Acontius miliagris you saw earlier. And you can see the belly is sort of mottled with white and yellow, pinkish white yellow. And you'll see the little head here. He's got tiny little eyes, making him basically blind. We got a couple of photographs of him, so I'm just going to let him go back into the sand. You'll see how he'll disappear, hopefully straight back into the sand. The sand's a bit hard, but yeah, if we put him in the softer sand, he should disappear pretty quickly. Later, brother. Just turned up this little variegated skink right down on the water's edge. Was not expecting to see them here. You can see all this stuff in front of you that looks like rocks. It's actually like this gross, like sea foam. Yuck. But yeah, it seems like a good little spot all along this high tide, essentially a high tide mark, to find and flip stuff. So just after the Cruise sand snake, there's a little spotted grass snake, Semiphylax from Beatus. Pretty looking one. I think he's gonna try to bite me, which we don't like. But yeah, good looking snake. Cool, we're just gonna release the spotted grass snake back under his rock if he wants to go under there. Later, brother. Cool, So here's a really good looking crossmark grass snake. I just flipped under a little piece of concrete. Sort of caught me off guard a little. So I wasn't actively filming the clip, but yeah, he's relaxing really nicely now. Got a couple of really good photos. You can see the long, narrow heads, the sort of vague crossmark on the top of the head where the name comes from. But yeah, I got some pictures, so we're just gonna let this guy go and see it turn up. Oh, crossmark grass snake going back into his grass, straight under his piece of concrete where we found him. Cool. Let's see what else we're gonna get after. So we just had another spot. I just flipped this little Karoo sand snake, just chilling. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy before, but there you go, Karoo sand snake, just under this little log. Oh, done with the little Karoo sand snake. You can go under his little plank that he likes to hide under. Come on, brother. Come, go under there. Yeah, so we always make sure these guys go back under their little refuse after you finish photographing them and flipping them, just because they obviously or possibly get eaten by something else and they know where they're going. Well, the sun is starting to go down pretty rapidly, so we are going to get out of here. Had a pretty decent day. Loads of those cool fossorials, landed up with a couple of snakes just at this last spot. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.